Hi everyone, in this video, we're going to unravel another fundamental building block of any programming language, the char data type. Understanding characters is essential, as they are the individual letters, symbols, and digits that form the text we work with every day. Let's dive right in and explore how characters are handled in Kotlin. A char in Kotlin represents a single character. Think of it as a single letter, a digit, a punctuation mark, or even a space. For instance, B, 5, or even are all examples of characters. They are the smallest textual units that combine to form larger structures like words and sentences. In Kotlin, you declare variables using either val for read-only references or var for mutable, reassignable references. Kotlin is a statically typed language, meaning every expression's type is known at compile time. However, it also uses type inference, allowing the compiler to often figure out the type for you. When working with chars, the most important syntax rule is that character literals are always enclosed in single quotes. Let's look at some examples. Example 1. Declaring a read-only char using val with type inference. The compiler infers first letter is of type char. Example 2. Declaring a mutable char using var with explicit type. Explicitly declaring grade as char. Example 3. Reassigning a var char. This is allowed because grade is a var. Example 4. Using special characters, escape sequences. Represents a new line character. Represents a tab character. Example 5. Using Unicode characters. Represents the yin-yang symbol. As you can see, Kotlin uses common escape sequences like \n for new line and \t for tab. And you can also represent any Unicode character using the \u prefix followed by its 4-digit hexadecimal code. Single character value. A char variable can only hold a single character value. Immutability of reference. When you declare a char variable with val, the reference itself is read-only. You cannot reassign it to point to a different character once initialized. If you need to change the character, you must use var. Chars as objects. Under the hood, a significant design principle in Kotlin is that everything is an object. This means that, from a developer's perspective, char, like int, boolean, etc., is a full-fledged object type. This simplifies the language by removing the distinction between primitive types and their wrapper objects, which is present in languages like Java. However, for efficiency reasons at runtime, the Kotlin compiler is smart. It optimizes these object types, compiling char down to Java's primitive char type whenever possible. This ensures that your Kotlin code runs with comparable performance and memory efficiency to equivalent Java code, without you having to worry about these low-level optimizations. Kotlin's type system is built with strict null safety to prevent null pointer exception (NP) errors, often called the billion-dollar mistake. By default, a char variable is non-nullable. This means it cannot hold a null value. If you attempt to assign null to a non-nullable char, your code will fail to compile. Compilation error. Null cannot be a value of a non-nullable type char. If your application logic requires a character variable to potentially hold a null value, meaning no character present, you must explicitly declare it as char with a question mark. This is a nullable char, which can be null. Can also hold a character value. When working with a nullable char, you'll need to handle the null case to avoid potential runtime errors. Common ways to do this include: safe call operator allows you to safely call methods or access properties only if the object is not null. Elvis operator provides a default value if the expression on its left-hand side is null. Not null assertion operator forces the expression to be non-null, throwing an NP if it is null. Use with extreme caution, only when you are absolutely certain the value won't be null. Uses question mark if char value is null. Safely convert to uppercase if not null. You can perform various operations with chars, including comparisons and some specialized operations provided by the Kotlin standard library. Comparison: you can compare characters for equality, inequality, or order. Relation to strings. Remember, a string is essentially a sequence of chars. You can access individual characters within a string using indexing, similar to arrays. Operator overloading. Advanced example Kotlin allows you to define custom behavior for operators on various types. For example, you can multiply a char by an int to repeat it as a string. This shows how Kotlin extends functionality even to basic types, making code more expressive. Okay, alright guys. In this video, we've taken a deep dive into the char data type in Kotlin. We covered how to declare and initialize character variables using single quotes for literals and \U for Unicode. We clarified that while chars are treated as objects in Kotlin, the compiler performs optimization to primitive chars for efficiency. We explored Kotlin's robust null safety by understanding non-nullable char and nullable char, along with mechanisms like the Elvis operator for handling null values. Finally, we looked at basic comparisons and an advanced example of operator overloading for chars. In our next video, we'll dive into Kotlin's next component. So, see you guys in the next lecture.